It's true, there's a lot more gold in the game, and it's going to change the way the game is played, and it alters the way a lot of heroes are. You are just ruining. You do not want. I hate you, cat. I hate you. Hey guys, Fearu here. This is going to be episode 8. Today we are talking about gold. Money, money, money. The game's different. 3.1 has caused gold to have a huge influx. There's more of it. And it has a lot of implications on a lot of different heroes. And I believe we're going to see a lot of big changes as we kind of learn, what this game now allows us to do just from the sheer volume and the differences from the way it was and the way it is now. So let me just show you the changes here real fast, and let me open this up for you. Okay, so we have literally just big old fat list of changes. What does this mean? I'm sitting here, I'm staring at it, I'm reading it. What does it really mean? Well, the first thing that caught my eye was, the standard decreased gold for dying from 30 to 25 a level, and you'll notice increased gold given from a level from 5 to 10 per level, whatever. So that just means at level 10, if you kill a hero, you get 50 more gold than before. If you kill 2 heroes at level 10, you get 100 gold more than before. There's now 100 more gold in the game than there was previously. Also, that guy that died at level 10 lost 50 less gold per death. Before he would lose 300 gold per death, now he's only losing 250 gold per death. So now he's lost 100 less, you've gained 100 more. There's literally 200 gold more in the game. There's just less gold out of the game. You have more, he has more, it's just shifted. So that means, your supports aren't going to be stuck with, regular boots at 20 minutes. This also means that those heroes that need farm early on, like they need particular items, they're going to get it a lot faster, assuming there's kills. And it also just incentivizes getting kills. Obviously, just from the sheer numbers. The other parts of it, are still also just pure increases to gold as far as like the streak works. That's a little bit more geared towards competitive play. I'm sure most pubs don't even notice that change. It exists, but you're not going, oh, I gotta be careful not to die, or otherwise whoever kills me is gonna get a ton of gold, me and my killing spree. But okay, so real fast, let's take a second and look at this. Okay, so when I say there's more gold in the game, what does this mean? Certain heroes need items to farm. When you think of farming, there's a couple different things. There's standard static farming, there's flash farming, there's jungling, and that's essentially those are the 3 basic farm types. If you took away all the other heroes in the game, and I said, go farm, go get as much gold as you can, different heroes would do different options at different levels. Certain heroes would farm a lane real fast and then go into the jungle. Other heroes would just go straight through the jungle. Other heroes would just stay in the lane because they just didn't have that option. A hero like Hag or Pyro can flash farm a lane. They can kill a set of creeps really, really fast. We've all seen it. Oh, why'd you take the gold from the carry? So on and so forth. Whereas certain heroes, like you think like Scout, or Mage Bane, they're waiting for the Runed Axe, Dark Lady. They're waiting till the Runed Axe, and then they can farm really, really fast. The reason this matters is their gold they're getting, they're going to be able to get those items faster. If you're Mage Bane and you are playing pre 3.1, right? And you just took the same game, right? You died twice, let's say, and you're at the 10-minute mark. Pre 3.1, you would have 100 less gold. Post 3.1, you now have 100 more gold. You're that much closer. Now that doesn't really seem like that much, but say you add that on to you killed an extra hero, and so on and so forth. Now you've lost 100 less, you've gained 100 more, and now you're that much closer to pushing on forward to get your rune axe to go farm that much faster. And being able to farm efficiently is really, really important. So now I'm going to show you guys this chart, and we're going to get into a little bit of theory crafting real fast. Okay guys, so as you can see by this chart, I kind of have my chicken noodle paint on the right hand side and the actual values on the left. I was trying to get a rough idea of how much gold was actually available in the game at one particular time. So obviously, this is just one side, and I used some estimate numbers. Obviously, these aren't 100% accurate. They can be higher or lower depending on what creep camp spawn. I was surprised at some of the numbers is how much variance plays in a role. Like, I mean, I knew there was a difference between, having skeleton kings and vagabonds spawn, like, but I just didn't realize it was that large. I mean, if you have that happen a couple times in a row, it can be, a couple hundred gold that you're missing out on. But for simplicity's sake, I came up with these numbers. I'm sure someone can average them out and come to a more exact decimal point if they wanted to. And because it's been normalized, it's pretty accurate for the most part. Or it's easy. I shouldn't say it's accurate. It's easy to calculate. My numbers again are just for simplicity's sake a rough idea of what's available. So I have smalls roughly worth 75, mediums worth 100, the large camps worth 125, ancients they're just under 300. I put 300 for again simplicity's sake. Giving us a grand total of 825 on a respective jungle side, available every single minute. Every single minute those are up. As long as you get the pull, every minute there's 125. There's 125 gold available if you can do it. Obviously that's the hard part. In a lane at the beginning of the game, there's when the 30-second mark goes down or 0 mark goes down, that first wave spawn, there's roughly 170 gold there available. And when the second wave spawns, it's another 170 gold, giving you roughly 340. So hypothetically, you could have a game where, you have, just say two just completely passive teams. We're just like, hey, we're just let each other last hit completely, and just not deny it all. It's possible to have two people sharing a jungle, pulling roughly just over 400 GPM, especially after you add in the natural, like, 1 gold for every 0.8 whatever seconds. And then every lane, just being friendly, one person per lane, two people in the jungle splitting that 400, and everyone in the lane just probably gain about just over 375, and that kind of shocked me. Like, that's possible. In a game with 0 deaths, it's possible to pull everyone, literally every support, every carry could pull 375 GPM if they played, obviously perfect. Well, it wouldn't be perfect because you wouldn't be denying, but it's literally possible for everyone to pull 375. So let's kind of let that sink in and pull it back to main base. Okay, so what does that mean, right? Well, I just want to look from a 3.1 perspective. I mean, a lot of gold is available, more than I actually thought. And the biggest thing with 3.1 is now that you have all this gold, certain heroes have become better because they need gear to scale. And what I mean by this is, pick any hero in the game, and let's just take two complete opposites. Let's take Magebane and Pyro. Magebane with gear will scale better than Pyro, just from a sense of, if I gave you a blank slate and said, hey, go farm. As Magebane gets more gear, especially towards the end, he'll actually be able to farm faster than Pyro, whereas at the beginning of the game, Pyro will be able to earn more gold quickly. You know, once Pyro hits about that level 7 mark, if I said, you know, I gave them 2 like completely blank maps and just said, go get gold as fast as you can, and in 50 minutes we're gonna see who has more. You know, this first 15 minutes, Pyro's actually gonna be pretty far ahead, just from the way his spells work. And then after is once Magebane gets like his runed axe, and just starts getting some damage, especially with his mobility, he's gonna be able to farm ridiculously fast. And while at the beginning Pyro's gonna be ahead of him, at the end Magebane is going to just skyrocket. And why does this matter? Well, with 3.1, because you know those changes that I said in the beginning, because of all those changes, those heroes that need the gear, that you know they're better with gear, they're going to have a more important place in newerth. Whereas a hero that scales not quite so well with gear, where I mean obviously all heroes scale well with gear, but certain ones scale better with gear than other ones. They're gonna be taken down a peg. Not necessarily down a peg, but the other ones are just gonna be brought that much closer. So with that said, you know, we're gonna see a lot more. You know, think of a hero, and if they have a passive, chances are they're better after this patch. If they don't have a passive, I mean I know it's a big generalization, but for the most part that's gonna be true. And now just finding their role, you know, we often talk about timings. With, you know, after they hit a certain point, after Magebane gets his rune decks, he can farm better. Once these heroes start getting this gold income, once they find out the right timing to start initiating these ganks, once they have that certain income, they're going to be able to do things a lot faster. We think like, you know, Pebbles gain his PK. That's going to happen faster now. You know, the same player in the same game is going to have more gold and lose less gold, which means that PK is coming faster, which means, you know, the game's getting to the good part sooner. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys, you know, this kind of thought, just so, you know, I feel like you guys, especially from what I've read on the forums, think the game's changing for the worse. You know, like I said before, I've seen all those, oh, normal mode's the new casual mode. No, it's not the way to think of it. It's just, we're skipping the boring parts and getting to the fun stuff right away. We'll see how the game develops. And, you know, I have a lot more games to play through. I haven't found out what the perfect mid is, or what the perfect, well, I suppose mid too, but I haven't found out what these perfect timings are, and it's just something that's kind of why I have no gameplay for you guys today, is I just wanted to think about, you know, what it is that I need to be looking for when I move on, when I select a hero, because we're getting gold faster, so now that I have it, what do I do and how do I execute? And that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at in the future. My next episode is going to cover farming. I was going to do that. It was going to be this week's episode, but farming has become not obsolete, but because of the number of ganks and the amount of roaming that's going on, I'm finding myself to have to move around the map a lot more. And I think timing out when to farm, figuring out when to farm, is going to be really, really important, especially in this post 3.1 era. It's just something I want you guys to think about as we go forward. Feel free to comment, disagree, pick apart those numbers. I'm sure you guys will have fun, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.